We never see it published, a bunch of funny.
Don't leave. Okay.
Yes. Oh, oh. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
You're good.
Good evening.
This meeting is being transcribed and summarized.
Okay, we will reconvene the open session at 6:08. Board of Union Act will take a closed session pursuant to government code section 54957.1. Board in closed session voted to reject a claim listed as anticipated litigation by a vote of 5-0. Now, and we'll have the pledge of allegiance. Well, please stand. Right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands for the nation, the God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We will start with organizational meeting procedures. For the nominations and appoint the president of the board. Nominee.
I'd like to nominate Greg Tuvey for president.
Motion by Mr. Giles. Seconded by Mr. Nguyen. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Consideration of nominations and appoint vice president of board of trustees. Motion by Mr. Nguyen. Second by Mr. Teepee. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Consider nominations and appoint the clerk of board of trustees. Motion by Mr. Nguyen,
Second.
by Mr. Giles. All in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Approval of Superintendent Dr. Paul Marietti to serve as secretary to the Board of Trustees.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Giles. Second by Mr. Nguyen. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. We will now seat new officers in recognition of past president.
First, we'd like to provide Carlson a little token of our appreciation for her work as our president.
Names and.
What's next name?
You gotta do it twice that way.
We'll switch names.
Yeah, see if we can do it there, man.
No, I'm going to stand here so you can go over there. Guys very much for the award, and thank all of you for all of your support. I enjoyed serving.
Thank you very much. And thank you for all your service this past year. Fantastic job leading our board meetings and helping the public and leading our district in a positive direction. And so much for all your service. With that, we're going to establish the regular time and meeting days for the Board of Trustees. Have a motion by Mr. Wayne.
Second.
By Mr. Carlson. And that to keep the times as before. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Next, item G, designate representative to the Los Angeles Committee on School District Organization, Los Angeles County Schools Trustees Association. We have a motion.
I'd like to nominate Dwayne. Motion.
A motion to nominate Dwayne from Keith Giles.
Second.
Second, Pamela. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Next, we need to designate representative of the Board of Trustees to serve on the executive board of the Antelope Valley School Board Association.
Designate each other.
Motion by Pamela. Designate Keith Giles. Second. By Mr. Wayne. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. And next we have to designate Charles E. Coleman Jr. as representative with one as the alternative representative to serve on the board of the Antelope Valley School Transportation Agency. We have a motion. In that position? Yes. We have a motion.
I'll move that.
Motion by Keith Giles, second by Julie Usler, or Dwayne Wynn, to serve in that position. All in favor?
Aye.
Carries 5-0. Next, item J, designate Michelle Williams, serve as Title IX officer. We have a motion.
Motion.
By Mr. Wayne. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 0. Now, appointment of Mary L. Butterworth, Administrative Secretary 3, Business Services, as the appropriate officer to supervise instruction of Class 3. Moved by Mr. Wynn, second by Keith Giles. Favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries 5-0. Adoption of Resolution 2025-26, certification of authorized signatures. Motion by Ms. Carlson, second by all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. And next, we have informational items. Enrollment report.
Okay. We have total UTK to 8th grade, 13,596. Early learning department, 26 for total students count of 13,932. Out of that 13,932, we have 1,130 homeless, 293 that are fostered, and 695 armed forces family members. That total is also a loss of 5 from the last report. and a loss of 237 from the same month last year.
Okay, thank you. Next, presentations request. Reports. First interim budget report. Dana, Executive Director of Fiscal Services.
Good evening, board members, Executive Cabinet Superintendent, and family. I'm here to present the first interim report for the 25-26 fiscal year. And on the first slide, we have the first interim assumptions, which is the LCFF COLA statutory. On the enacted budget is exactly the same as the first interim, so there's no changes. I wanted to show that because last time they had changes. Right now it's the same. So the 25-26 is the approved COLA 2.30. That's where we built the first interim budget. And then the 26-27 and 27-28 are the two subsequent years are projections. That means that they are subject to changes. The changes to stairs and pairs, I put from 24-25 all the way to 28-29. As you can see, the stairs has continued to be plateaued, and that's because it takes voter action to change to make any adjustments. The PERS is based on the market. That's why it represents, it fluctuates according to the market. The 25-26 fiscal year for the PERS is 2681, which is a decrease from prior year by 0.24. And then the subsequent years are projections, so they are subject to changes as well. Now we'll go over to the state revenues. Everything is in millions. And the state revenues, total ongoing and one-time. I separated them because since COVID, we've been having one-time funding and ongoing funding. And it's important for us to understand what is ongoing and is not be taken away. So our ongoing revenues, state, which are the largest revenues in the whole district, are $241.75 million, of which LCFF base, which is the largest one, $93.87 million. LCFF supplemental and concentration, which is actually based into unduplicated count, is $56.10 million. Taxes, which is $23.28 million. EPA, which is the Educational Protection Account, $23.46 million. UTK, which we are now being funded based on ADA, is $1.34 million. Mandated block grant, 0.52. Transportation, 6.12. Unrestricted lottery, 1.99. ELOP, which is $24.06 million. ACES, 1.76. Restricted lottery, 0.67, which is $670,000. Equity multiplier, $5.66 million, which is allocated directly from the state and is based on percentages of truancy, which is to every school site that has more than 25% is entitled to receive equity multiplier. And then we have Prop 28, arts and music, which is $2.92 million. That's also allocated by the state directly to the school sites, and it requires a plan. And we have the one-time revenues. Out of the one-time revenues, as you can see, I put two arrows. That's new money. So those are unexpected. We just learned that we received student support and professional development, $3.95 million. It's a grant to be spent in the next 4 years. Then we have the literacy coaches and reading, which is $1.94 million. Learning communities for successful programs, $0.67 million. Mental health, $1.08 million. Early intervention preschool, $1.3 million. Early literacy, $90,000. Community grant, which we still have 2 more years, is $6 million. And learning recovery, $1.25 million. The learning recovery we received when we received ESSER monies, and then whoever didn't spend the funds, they were taken away. We spent all, but other districts didn't, and now they redistributed. And so we actually ended with a gain, $1.25 million. So our total revenues for the state are $258.03. Now the federal. The federal, when we have COVID, the federal was the biggest revenue. It was one time, now it's turning back to its normal. So the ongoing revenue on federal is $13.39 million, which is the categorical revenues. Titles, Title I, $7.96 million. Title II, 0.69, which is $690,000. Title III for the English learners, 0.25, which is 250,000. Title III immigrants, 230,000. Title IV, 660,000. IDA, which is the federal, $3.38 million. IDA for preschool, which is 140,000. And the homeless grant, which we utilize wisely, $80,000. And then we have the one-time revenues, 0.82, which is 820,000. Out of that, migrant aid, which is 90,000, is reimbursable, and CSI, which is assigned to school sites depending on their performance, and it's 730,000. So the total federal revenues, $14.21 million. Local revenues, everything is in millions as well. So the ongoing is 12.80. These local revenues are actually SPED. They're considered local because they go through CELPA. And then we have the one-time revenues for the local is, as you can see, we have two arrows. One is the cybersecurity grant, which our CTO applied for the grant and was awarded with 630,000. Then we have another new one, which is a reimbursement for $3.84 million. As we all know, ABSTA was charging us double and they reimbursed us. So, and then we have medical, $1.8 million, and school grants. Some school sites apply for grants, individual grants, 340,000, and the fair market value, $3.70 million. So the total local revenues, $23.11 million. All revenues and all sources in millions. State, as we went over, 258.03. Total federal, 14.21. Total local, 23.11. So the total 25, 26 district revenues are $295.35 million. Now I'm going to go over with you on the expenditures. The unrestricted expenditures budgeted for the first interim are a total of $191.41 million. Out of that, $76.68 million are on certificated salaries, $29.88 million classified salaries, $47.93 million are in benefits for both buckets. Supplies are $6.79 million. Services, which are the 5,000s, are $23.77 million. And capital outlay, $4.36 million. As you can see, salaries and benefits on the unrestricted expenditures are equivalent of 81.77% of the total unrestricted expenditures. Now we're going to go over the restricted expenditures. The restricted expenditures are budgeted at $145.98 million. $26.16 million are certificated salaries, $21.78 million are classified salaries, $19.88 million are benefits for both buckets. Supplies are $25.44 million, which are the 4,000s. 5,000s, $39.86 million, and capital outlay, $12.86 million. I would like to point out the supplies and services on the restricted. As you can see, we have 25.44 and 39.86. If we go to the unrestricted, the supplies are 6.79 and the services are 23.77. The reason why is this big difference is because we're liquidating ELOP, 2 years of ELOP. Every year of ELOP is $24 million. And we're also liquidating the community grant. All right, now I want to share with you the use of funds. So we have some Dia de los Muertos, which is some celebration, and then we have arts for the students with the arts at Prop 28. We have some SU that we brought to the sites, and some professional development for teachers and for classified. And I just wanted to share because this is where the dollars go, and I love it. All right, let's go. So all expenditures in million, the total unrestricted are, as we went over, 191.41. The total restricted, 145.98. All 25, 26 district budgeted expenditures, 337.39. Why, Maria? Expenditure 337, and the revenues, remember, revenues were 295. So we have a deficit spending, and we have a deficit spending because we're liquidating 2 years of ELOP, $24 million each year. And we're trying to liquidate as well the community grant amongst other grants. So you will see a big deficit spending budgeted. All right, multi-year, this is my baby. Okay, so the first year, which is the 25-26, this year, that as we went over, the revenues 295.35. Everything is in millions. The expenditures 337.39. That gives us a deficit spending of 42.05. Our beginning fund balance from last year ending and this year beginning 138.4, leaving us with an ending fund balance of 96.35. The components of the ending fund balance, the restricted 47.16. We ended the restricted ending fund balance last year at $84 million. So we are liquidating restricted dollars. And then we have the rest of the components of the ending fund balance, which are the commitments previously identified by the board.
Can
In the end,
you move that blackboard up so they can see the
those
We just get rid of it.
All right, so we have a reserve for economic uncertainties of $30.44 million. And the available reserve is 9.02% on the first fiscal year. The second fiscal year, our revenues are 289.02. Our expenditures are 298.62. I would like to tell you that the salaries and benefits are only increasing by the stepping column from 25-26 to 26-27. And all other expenditures, as you can see, they are dropping because we're not liquidating anymore. See, from 113 to 69. So our total expenditures are 298.62. We still have a deficit spending of $9.6 million. Our beginning fund balance for the middle year is 96.35, which is coming from the ending fund balance of the first year, leaving us with a new ending fund balance of $86.75 million. The components of this ending fund balance is 46.50 is restricted. We still have our assignments, and our reserve for economic uncertainties now is $21.5 million. It's 7.20%. Then we go to the third year out. Our revenues 295.90. So we're recuperating, as you can see, because we're doing only the COLA, but we're not accounting for all the one-time revenues that we're accounting in 25-26. On 26-27, we don't account for it. And then 27-28, because is the COLA growing, now we're going back to 295.9. Now, the salaries and benefits as well are only increased from the middle year to the third year out by the 2% stepping column. And then we're also controlling our expenditures. We'll continue to control our expenditures. So the total expenditures are 302.32, allowing us to decrease the deficit spending now to $6.42 million. Our beginning fund balance for the third year out, coming from the ending fund balance from the middle year, $86.75 million, leaving us with a new ending fund balance of $80.33 million, of which 47.09 is restricted dollars. We have the same commitments, and we have a $14.49 million for reserve for economic uncertainties, with an available reserve of 4.79%. We are mandated by the state to have 3% minimum because of our ADA. Any district that has more than 1,000 students ADA has to have 3%. So we have more than that. We have 12,699. So we're required to have 3%, but we are having 4.79. Oh, I wanted to tell you this. So it's positive certification, which means we're fiscally solvent. We continue to be fiscally solvent. I wanted to tell you that the 67% of our total expenditures on the first year represent our salaries and benefits. I cannot move to the next one. Oh, there you go. So the multi-year projection assumptions. COLA, as we went over, is approved for 25-26 at 2.30. There's 2 subsequent years are subject to changes, but that's how they were published at the dartboard by School Services of California and by the state. And that's how we build our multi-year. One-time revenues, including carryover funds, are included on the 25-26 budget, and they are earmarked for specific programs and initiatives. ADA The average daily attendance for budget is based on the P2, the approved one, which is the 24-25. The 25-26 is not yet approved and certified. As soon as it becomes certified, then we'll adjust the budget. And that will happen around the second interim. The 24-25 and 25-26 ELO revenues and expenditures are budgeted. And that's required by the state. The 25-26 negotiated salaries increases for TAL and unrepresented employers are included on the multi-year projection and on the first interim. The step and column increases are budgeted for all 3 years, and CSEA negotiations are ongoing. Any questions?
Couple, but let's open it up. And let's have some questions. First off, thank you for including all those wonderful pictures so we know where our money is going to. That keeps us grounded, and we love seeing those pictures every time. That's awesome. Also, it's great to see that we're balancing our budget, and hats off to our staff and everyone at all the school sites for being real diligent and spending our money wisely and so forth. A couple questions. First one, the equity multiplier. Did you say that? What was that based on?
25%, and I don't know if I'm the most appropriate to speak about this. Maybe Sam can help us with that. Equity multiplier is actually allocated to the site that has more than 25%. I think it is in transit.
Okay.
Mobility, just one side to the other.
What happened is that then you have a school district or school that are at least 25% will receive that amount. Then you have to have at least 70% associated economy. That's why some of schools they drop off because that grade has been dropped below 20%.
Okay, great. So it goes to any school that falls in those categories. Help that school.
They actually identify based on the information that we submitted to CalPAP. So that's why it's really critical for us to make sure that the information that we put into our student information is correct. That's get pulled into the state, and the state is pulling that information to identify which school will be.
Great. That's a big help, especially up here in Antelope Valley. Yeah, very good. Thank you.
And it also requires a plan, so we make sure that the site has a plan when the funds are spent, and we follow that.
Also, I had a question about attendance. So I know that's based on P2 attendance. Based on our attendance figures, is our rate going to stay about the same, or is it going to change any amount?
So we are increasing. We have an attendance plan that is being implemented for the past 3 years, and it's part of our solvency plan. And that's PSA, the one that I implemented, and is following through with the counselors and the personnel. And we are increasing our ADA. So that's why our revenue is recuperating little by little. So it is projected to go up.
It's actually going up. That's fantastic. Great. Very good. And then also, so I know you mentioned before that some of our funding is one-time funding, and you did kind of warn us that we had to prepare that it was going to be going away at some point. And I think you mentioned this time that the two main ones is the community grant and the ELOP that are going to be phasing out. Is that correct?
ELOP. ELOP is ongoing.
Okay.
Let me show you. It's right there. You see ELOP is the state ongoing, $24 billion. The one that is one time, but is one time for 5 years, is a community grant. And we still have 2 more years. This year and 2 more years. And we're hear some rumors that there's going to be another extension, and they're going to let us apply for more funding, but it's not something that is actually approved yet.
Great.
It is important for me to say that our school, our district, our administrators are always looking for grants. As you can see, the CTO, Brandon Weber, just got awarded with 1 grant, and also its services, it's always looking for grants. So even though we have some time money that is going to go away. We're actively looking for more grants.
Very good. That's great. And also like how included the negotiations in the budget update. So thank you for doing that, and great work. Thank you so much.
Any more questions? Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you. Okay, next up brings us to individual action items. Superintendent, approval of nominations for California School Boards Association, SBA Delegate Assembly. We have a motion. Motion by Mr. Nguyen. By Pamela Starlson. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. That was for, correct?
Reimbursement from each side and within the merger, they're all income.
Congratulations, Keith. Did you have any words you want to mention about that?
No, I have to get enough votes from all the other districts to make it. So I'm not there yet. We're just one vote. So we have to get from all those districts that were in Region 22. So it includes Santa Cruz and Antelope Valley, but Antelope Valley sticks together. I always win. Anyway, that's just the way it works, but thanks. So far, so good. Okay, and the next thing on the agenda is item B. It's adoption of resolution 2025 board compensation for missed meeting for Greg Teepee on November 18, 2025. The motion. Question by Mrs. Starlson, second by Mrs. Husler. All in favor? Opposed? And one abstention. Okay, back to
Next, we have individual action items business. 14A, approval of change order number 2 with Medallion Contracting Incorporated, Dorado Elementary School HVAC replacements. Moved by Keith Giles. Second by Julie Usler. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Next, we have 14B, approval of amendment number 001 to agreement with Unio and Moore for Department of Toxic Substances Control services related to Lincoln Elementary School modernization and new construction project. We have a motion by Mr. Nguyen. Starlson. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Next, we have item C, adoption of resolution number 2025-26-30 to enter into a leaseback agreement for New Vista Middle School modernization new construction project. We have a motion.
I'll move.
Thank you, Josh. Second by Julie Usler. Any discussion? Quick question on this. Can you explain kind of how this works?
Sure, I'll have my CFW guys come up and they'll explain the whole situation. The interview process with the construction companies that'll be doing, they can explain the lease back for you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Matt Woodham. I'm the Director of Planning at CFW. I have with me Bill Hahn, who's our Vice President of Planning and Implementation at CFW. For this item, the LA County requires a resolution to enter into a lease-leaseback agreement for construction projects. For this project in New Vista, we have Viola, which is the construction contractor currently working on the reconstruction for the project. And the next step is to move forward into a lease back agreement with that contractor to begin the actual construction itself. When we selected Viola for the pre-construction, we went through a series of interviews and rankings with contractors. We entered with Viola into an agreement for the pre-construction, which they have been working on this project for the past several months, and now moving into the lease-back agreement for starting the construction itself.
And have you worked with them previous projects?
Yes, we have worked with Viola on several other projects very successfully. Excellent construction company. We've had no issues in the past.
Thank you very much. Any further questions? Okay, thank you very much. With that, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Great, thank you so much for giving that extra input. Next, we have approval of amendment number 1, agreement for construction services with Viola Inc. for New Vista Middle School modernization and new construction project. We have a motion. Motion. By Ms. Carlson, second by Keith Giles. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. And next we have item E, adoption of resolution number 2025-2627, designating certain general funds as committed fund balance. We have a motion by Mr. Wayne and by Ms. Huesler. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. So we have item F, adoption of resolution number 2025-2628, moving uncommitted fund balance for 1 month payroll.
Second.
By Mr. Wayne, second by Mr. Giles. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Next item G, adoption of resolution number 2025-2629, annual accounting of developer fees for fiscal year 2024-25. Motion. Motion by Ms. Carlson. Mr. Wayne. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Next, we have item H, approval of award of E-rate category 2 reimbursement bid CDW-G.
So moved.
By Mr. Giles. By Mr. Wayne. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? It's 5-0. Next, item 15, individual action items, educational services. A, approval of study trip to SCO headquarters. We have a motion. Motion.
Second.
By Giles. Could we get a little information?
Sure. So this is an opportunity that Dr. McGee, our OSA school, which does the Code to the Future, 7th grade, San Francisco, Cisco headquarters. See what it's like to work at a company for a day. I'm gonna have 10 fun speakers. Experiences.
That sounds fantastic. And these are students who are already doing coding and are in working towards that.
Code and
That's incredible. Very nice. Any questions?
I just want to be sure, I spoke with Dr. Marietti about this issue. The fact that we did have a request for a study trip to the, sponsored by Northrop Grumman to the space camp in Huntsville, Alabama. And you explained it to me, but I think for Mrs. Reynolds and others, this study trip is different.
Yeah, so we take into consideration where it is. If it's out of California, it becomes very complicated because they don't follow the same rules and regulations. It also becomes more of a liability when we're going across the country and we're spending extended amount of time. That trip was not during school time. So when we do trips, extended trips out of state that are not around school time, we tend to do that outside the purview of the school district and make that a private trip so that the liability doesn't fall upon the district. This trip is, all the costs are covered. It's only one day. It's within the state of California. So that makes the liability of the district much smaller. That's kind of in a nutshell why the difference between.
Thank you very much. With that, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Item 16A, individual action items, human resources, approval of addendum contract for deputy superintendent. Do we have a motion?
If I could just explain that really quick, this is to amend the contract of the assistant superintendent so that that gap begins at 9 years as opposed to 10 years. Required to state that.
We have a motion by Mr. Nguyen. We have a second. Second. By Ms. Charleston. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Item 16B, approval of coordinator of special education.
Ida Reed.
We have a motion
Moved.
by Keith Giles, by Julie Musser. And we have
Certainly. Thank you. Nida has worked for the Lancaster School District for 12 years as a special education teacher. She served in the mild to moderate program for 5 years and currently works at Miller Elementary School as the resource teacher for kindergarten through 5th grade. Nida has a master's degree in special education from California State University, Bakersfield, and earned her administrative credential from CSU Chico. She completed Milo equity and impact training. Nida is very thankful for her family and their continued support throughout her educational journey since she started on this path later in life. While it's been a long and challenging journey, it has reaped endless benefits. Tonight's one of them. In her spare time, Nida is an avid reader and enjoys hanging out with friends and family, especially her grandchildren. She enjoys hiking and camping and getting outdoors as much as possible. And she's here with us in the audience tonight.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations. Have anyone you want to introduce or any works you'd like to speak? Thank you. Congratulations. Congratulations. We look forward to having you work in that position. All right, that brings us to item C. Approval of final tentative agreement with Teachers Association of Lancaster, revised salary schedules and AB 1200 for 2025-26. Do we have a motion?
Second.
By Mr. Wynn, second by Keith Giles. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. The next item D, approval of unrepresented final compensation agreement and revised salary schedules and AB 1200 for 2025-26. We have a motion. By Mr. Wynn. Again by Keith Giles. Excuse me, I didn't hear that right. Motion by Ms. Donaldson. Mr. Wynn, Dwayne Wynn, thank you. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. And next we have approval of variable term waiver for 2025-26 school year. Jessica Vito, speech language pathology, special education. We have a motion.
So moved. I'll do that one.
Moved by Keith Giles. By Mr. Wynn. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 0. Item 17, addressing the board. Individuals who wish to address the board may complete a speech card and present it in any supporting documents to the superintendent's assistant or other district official prior to the start of the meeting. Personal information such as a student guardian's name, address, phone number, date of birth, email address, or other directory information as defined in Ed Code 4961 may be excluded from the minutes of the meeting by submitting a written request to the superintendent. Board president shall recognize individuals who wish to speak. Individuals wishing to present testimony to the board concerning specific items on the agenda may do so once that item has been moved, seconded, and is on the floor for discussion. Time limits of 3 minutes per person and 20 minutes per item shall be allowed according to board bylaws 9322. Board members may ask questions for clarification purposes. However, no action may be taken and no discussion may take place on an item not on the posted agenda. For the Brown Act, any comments from PTA? CSCA? No? From the audience?
There are no comments, it seems.
Consent agenda item superintendent items 18A to have a motion.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Wynn and Ms. Starlson. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Next, we have item 19, consent agenda items business, items 19A and 19Q. We have a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Giles. And by Mr. Wynn. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. So we have item 20, consent agenda items, educational services, items 20A through 20Q. We have a motion. Moved by Ms. Usler. Second by Pamela Starlson. Any discussion?
I think it's about 315, Alicia. Less than 300. This is the remaining 3-year hold up money for these trips to Disney, our agreement with Disney and so while we amusement parks off trips for this year. This one was a holdover. Use the last bit of the money we wanted to give that opportunity to see that impact all this.
But we just want to make it clear, this isn't a trip to Disneyland. This is a trip to.
Imagination Campus for their leadership.
A little bit of Disney.
Any further questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Item 21, consent agenda items, human resources services, items 21A to 21G.
So moved.
Moved by Keith Giles, second by Mr. Wayne. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's 5-0. Item 22, consent agenda items, student and family services, items 22A to 22M. Motion. Moved by Ms. Usler.
Second.
Second by Mr. Giles. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Item 23, legislative and policy discussion. We have a lot of first and second readings in here. Any items that you guys would like to discuss? We're at CSBA. We got an update on a lot of that. We're going to go to comments from the board. And Ms. Starlson, let's start with you because you're again, so we'll let you go first this time.
Congratulations. So, a great job. Get a reinvent on our budget. So, thank you very much. Always making sure that we support. So, appreciate that. Also, congratulations to those that have, yeah. That's it. I used to get to go, I'm not even ready to go first. Ida, congratulations tonight. Already go. He missed it. Other than that, I think anything else has just been a lot of a lot of trivia. So thank you guys for all of your support this year, helping me do the best that I can in my position, and look forward to making this work and show up at all the events. Can't wait to be standing next to him. Other than that, I want everyone to enjoy your holiday because it's the last time we see you until next year. So, thank you.
And next, Mr. Wayne.
Never have much. But tonight I do want to make sure that Rose here earlier. Oh, there she is.
Was in the front.
About the board agenda tonight, there was a donation made by so many companies that you have made possible. And there's not enough I can say between you, Sam, and the others with that department. Just fantastic. You make this district a community event-oriented group of people. So thank you very much. Debbie, congratulations on the new salad bars. My grandson gave it a thumbs up at Football Ferry, and he said it was just fantastic. So thank you very much for putting them together now at almost every school, every middle school. Yeah, the kids, I think we run out of salad from all the students eating it, which is good. CDW, thank you for coming up and giving us that information on Viola. I was gonna ask, are they a local company or are they from down below? Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure. I didn't think it sounded locally familiar, but for all of the others in this district, thank you for your half a year so far. We are going into holiday, just not shutdown mode, but holiday mode. Keep your guards up for another week and we'll make it through. Thank you for all you've done so far this year. Carla, thank you for all the photos and thank you for going online with the radio station. That makes a big difference. People come to me and say, "Who's Carla?" And I have to tell them she's new, but she's fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wynn. And Keith.
Okay. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. I just wanted to thank Pamela again for her service as board president. I know is excited to do it and more excited to probably not do it. She did a great job and she represented us well, and we appreciate her service. And I also wanted to thank the school districts, our school district in general is just doing great work. I got to go see Junior Aladdin the other day, so that was fun at Amargosa. And I got to see that and lots of programs going on, lots of festivities for this last week. So and get out and enjoy something if you haven't seen something. Seeing kids sing and dance and do their thing always makes me smile. I wanted to, I also, Maria, thank you for your presentation. So it's good to hear how our budget's doing. And I don't even read what it says. I wrote thanks to something, but I don't know what it says. I do want to once again thanks Rosemary and Rose, because Rose, I saw all the donors in there, where the Jeanette Tiger and all the ones that still donate after all these years, and we were able to put that together. So thanks again for all that you guys do for that. And I do not know what that says. I don't know. I'll come if it's that important. Thanks for letting us go to a conference. We did get to learn a lot, and we had a good time. And thanks for that as well. Thank you. Everybody have a great holiday. Enjoy your break.
Ms. Usler.
Thank you for coming tonight. I just want to say, what is it, 3 more days now until holidays? That's wonderful. I remember those days. It's nice to be home now and not have to deal with that, but that's okay. Those of you that are still doing it, appreciate that all that you're doing for the kids in the Valley. It's so nice to be able to sit from this perspective and see everything that's going on in all of the departments and all that is happening for our families and for our kids. Thank you, Maria, for a wonderful presentation. It's nice to know that we're solving. There are lots of districts that cannot say that. So it's wonderful to see that and see that every time. I've known NIDA for a long time. I am very happy to be moving up in the right. That's a wonderful choice that we've made, and she'll do a great job. And just Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And I know we'll see you on the other side. And I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful time.
Thank you very much. And Dr. Marietti.
So I echo everything you've said already. I would like to acknowledge Alice Carlson and thank her for her service as our president last year. And I welcome Mr. TP in. It's a role he has performed many, many times. I do also want to acknowledge our Welcome and Wellness Center during the holiday season. The work, especially during the holiday season, the work they do is so important for our community and our families. And I know I was out at KB Homes yesterday, and people were coming up and they were so thankful for the work that Lancaster does to support our community. And I think it's something we should be very, very proud of. And also thank you to all of our community partners and all of our donors who support us, because we don't do this by ourselves. We do this through our community and our partnerships. And I just want to thank our students and our staff and our administrators, our teachers, our classified staff, our community for all the hard work we put in over this past half year. And we wish them the best, safe and happy holidays. And we're going to come back refreshed, recharged, and ready to go in January. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Marietti. And with that, I'd like to thank everyone for this wonderful board meeting. And Pamela, again, for your outstanding service this past year. And also for all the staff, wish you all Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And thank you for the great updates tonight. Thank you, CFW, for coming up here and for overseeing a lot of the construction, everything that's going on. Appreciate that. We will convene at 7:10. Everyone, a great evening and great week. Thank you. We have a motion. Mr. Giles. Mr. Wynn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. Good night.